wearing the seersucker coat tomorrow.
You are? A coat? Oh.
Just the coat. Well, yeah.
Okay. Maybe I'll break the shorts out. I got my laundry done, so.
You may be busy.
They're tweeting.
Maybe busy on Zoom. You've got to let me know if Leah wants a question.
Huh?
You've got to let me know if Leah has a question.
I will absolutely not.
Oh, no.
You show up in person.
They had some copies of the Advocate in our hotel.
Uh-huh.
And her column Tuesday was beautiful.
Was it?
Yeah. Talked about her journey from a teenage girl with leukemia to a girl that's an LSU fan that's a cheerleader that fell,
Oh, wow.
a head injury. They can't figure out why she can't.
Huh.
I mean, it's a beautiful
I'll have to
story.
look that up.
I told her about it. I told her that I read it yesterday. It's just,
Yeah.
I teared up.
That's awesome.
Another reminder that 11 o'clock championship news conference tomorrow morning in Florida will be here first with Leopold, Rivera, and Langford and Sully.
What time does LSU get
Hmm?
here? What time will LSU be here?
The format is 11 until like 11:25 or so. We have the trophy here, a photo opportunity with the two coaches, and then after that, so close to 11:30 probably, 11:30, 11:35, Kevin. And obviously we don't know who LSU's going to bring yet, so.
Florida and LSU in the SEC and they have not played each other yet this season. This will be the first time.
Is that right?
They didn't play in the regular season and they didn't play in the tournament.
Wow.
So why not play for all the marbles?
Exactly.
Yeah, why not?
Just get
Make it interesting.
kind of the courts now the expanded leagues where you have so many teams. Don't get to play each other. It's gonna get worse when everybody's 16. Well, here's the official box scores.
Yeah,
They're on their way soon.
doesn't matter. I don't need. I'll just go with these.
I'll give them one.
Okay.
Here.
Well, I'll get this.
Sure, if you. Oh, I know what I usually do. You take these out to the process.
Yeah, do
Thank you. Yeah, one to each bus. trouble. And I was like, well, yeah, because we're missing you. Thank you for taking those.
Are they in there? Okay, while we're waiting, remember, as a courtesy to your fellow media members as well as the players, coaches, etc., and me, please silence your cell phones and please provide your name and media affiliation each time you ask a question during the news conference. And recording this press conference video on cell phones is not allowed. And if you're joining us on Zoom, please use the raised hand function for questions. We'll address questions in the room first and take questions from Zoom as time permits. We're missing one
I'm taking it.
portion. It's okay. Here we go. Jay, give us an overview.
Yeah, a couple things. Sorry for the delay. It's one of the greatest moments of my life, honestly. Number one. Number two, couldn't be more proud of our team. I think that exemplifies the talent on this roster, but more importantly, the character and the people. And as I look to my left, I just see three great players that are better people than they are players. The best pitched college baseball game I have ever seen from both sides. Obviously, what Paul did was spectacular. What Thatcher did was spectacular. You might see four pitchers that were on that mound tonight from both teams that will pitch in Major League Baseball All-Star games. And hat tip to Coach Walter and Wake Forest. I mean, we just slayed a giant tonight, and that was special. And lastly, look to my left. If you're one of the best players in the transfer portal, there's only one place to come play, because last summer I spent a lot of time with these young men, and I think they would tell you they made the right choice. So I'd want to join forces with them if they're out there.
Okay, Jay. First of all, we'll have questions to the student athletes. Once again, raise your hand. We'll get a mic to you, and we'll start here with Michael. Saw him first.
Tommy, earlier the week you told us that you weren't freaking out. Yeah, everybody's freaking out on the internet, I think is what you said. But how confident were you despite the struggles here in Omaha?
I'm always confident in the box. That's just how I play the game. I don't think I was struggling, but
I thought I was doing all right.
You're not.
But, no, yeah, I was super confident, just doing my deal. That's about it.
Okay, right here.
Life Scotnick, World Baseball Network. Tommy, can you just take us through the pitch, what you were looking for and how you prepped for that at bat?
Yeah, so I was definitely going for heater. I thought a heater was coming, but I was very amped up, and I saw a slider that was up, and I could get my bat head to it, so that was about it.
Okay, Aaron.
Aaron Fitt, D1 Baseball. Paul, I think a lot of people probably agree with Jay here that this was one of the greatest baseball games that we've seen here in a long time. To be right in the middle of that, to be on the mound, against Louder, this kind of epic duel. How do you kind of describe the whole experience of it?
To be honest, I think it might have been cooler for the people in the stands than it was for me, just because all it comes down to is just executing. I didn't watch a whole lot of Louder's outing. Obviously, he did really well, executed really well, but just comes down to slowing the game down and going out there and executing.
Okay, go here, Leah.
Leah Van Baton Rouge Advocate. Paul, I mean, you come in on probably your shortest amount of rest you've had all season, and I'm just wondering, what did the conversation about starting today look like? Was there ever any doubt? And just how did you feel about coming out for your second appearance at the College World Series?
There was no doubt. I know, our strength coach is Wes. I knew everyone was going to do everything in their power to get me ready. Everyone's going to get everyone else on the staff ready to pitch, 2 or 3 more times for the bullpen arms. But there was no doubt in my mind. And to be honest, there wasn't a whole lot of conversation.
Okay.
Mike Farrar with Berg Sports Network. Paul, can you kind of describe about, I don't know if you saw on the Jumbotron that you broke the SEC and the LSU strikeout record. Could you describe what that moment is like for you?
I've gotten to talk with Ben a lot, and he called a lot of our games. Obviously, he had a really good career at LSU and in the major leagues. It's cool, and it's cool to leave a legacy.
Okay, Michael.
This is for Paul and for Tommy. I guess just you guys saw the bunt coming, but Trey being able to make the play that he did with the quickness and fluidity that he did. From your perspective, what do you guys think of that?
Paul, you start.
I think he showed everyone in the country that he's the most athletic first baseman out there. To be honest, I saw him lay the bunt down, and Trey kind of just came flying in and made the play and picked me up.
Tommy.
Yeah, as soon as I saw the bunt, like the angle of the bat, I knew it was going to first, and I didn't see Trey. I was like, oh God, they're gonna score, and then he came flying out of nowhere, and Milazzo put a great tag on, so that was pretty awesome.
Over here.
Yeah, Thatcher, Glenn Wesco, 247. When you're watching a pitcher's duel like that through 8 innings, and then you come out and you have to go, 9, 10, 11 to just kind of keep that up. I mean, just what kind of mentality goes into that? And Paul, I guess, could speak to that too. Just getting those final 9 outs there to kind of give your offense the time to win it.
Yeah, I mean, like Coach says all the time, it's just all about execution. And I was going to do anything to get that win out for us. I wasn't going to let us down.
Paul?
Yeah, I mean, I was with him between innings, super level-headed, and he knew that it just came down to, what he went out there and did, or what he was going to go out there and do. If you keep it simple and make it about executing, it's a really simple game.
Okay, Matt?
Matty Arenas, white and blue review for Thatcher. Brock Wilken up with 2 runners on, big spot. What'd you go through mentally, and what'd you do to execute to get out of that situation?
I was going to go out the strike zone, trust my defense, throw everything with full conviction.
Okay, Michael?
For Paul and Tommy, this was a goal to get to this spot right now, and talking to the guys on the field, they said a lot of it is, this wasn't the end goal kind of thing. Just your thoughts on now being in the title series and what's ahead.
Paul?
Yeah, the whole year we knew we could do it, and that was the primary goal when we had a meeting like January 14th or something like that, and The goal, for this season was to win a national championship, and everything along the way would be a bonus. This was what we've had our eyes on all year, and it's really cool to be here now.
Tommy?
Yeah, pretty much the same thing. But it's just going to come down to execution, just playing the game one pitch at a time. We know what to do. We know what we got to do, and we're just going to play our game, hope for the best.
You got Mike Farron back here.
Mike Farron, Sirius XM. Tommy, after the celebration, you went and embraced, I think, Camden Manasseh. I know you guys were close. Why was that important for you to do? And a number of your teammates started doing that with Wake players. Why was that important tonight?
I mean, their season's over. It's a very hard time. They had high expectations coming into this, and they played great. But I've known Camden and Bennett Lee for quite some time now. We're all from Tampa, and he's I played with him, against him, growing up my whole life, and he's one of my close friends. So I didn't want him to feel anything. I just wanted to make sure he was all right.
Okay, we'll go to Leah for the last question for the players.
Tommy, y'all face a tough pitcher in Rhett Lauder tonight. Seeing him this entire night, what was difficult about hitting against him?
Yeah, he executed every pitch. He threw all pitches for strikes, and he worked fast. He pitched great, but that's about it. Yeah.
Okay, guys, thank you. Remind you that we'll have LSU back here tomorrow morning. Our Florida part of the news conference will start at 11. About 11:20, 11:25, we'll have both coaches here for photo op, and then the LSU news conference will follow that tomorrow morning with Jay and players to be named. So, first question for Jay, and we'll go back here with Matt, and then.
Yeah, Jay, you've been a part of some really memorable ones. You've won a national championship. What about tonight differentiates it in terms of how special you feel it was?
Yeah, I'll correct you. I have not won a national championship. That's okay. I lost a heartbreaker, 2 one-run games in the finals. But I'd like to try this thing through the winner's bracket one time. That's pretty special. I mean, I was not over-exaggerating. That is one of the greatest moments of my entire life, what happened on that field tonight.
Okay, back here.
Jay, Will Snyder from The Advocate. In all the plays that were in this game that were so close, how much, when you think back on this maybe years from now, are you going to remember Trey Morgan crashing and flipping that ball to Alex Milazzo?
Yeah, we work on it all the time, and I'll tell you, it was a big benefit who we played to get to this point. When you look at Tulane, you look at Oregon State, you look at Kentucky, that's 3 of the best bunting teams in the country, and both going into the regional and the super regional, we spent a large amount of time on bunt coverages to both sides, safety squeeze defense, and we've finally been able to get him back over to first base here, in the postseason, because he's healthy enough to do it. And what a play. I mean, nobody's played better in this World Series than Trey, and there hasn't been a bigger play in this World Series than that bunt play.
Okay, Michael?
I saw you smirk when they asked you about Paul getting the ball today. Just kind of elaborate, I guess, a little bit more on the no conversation.
Yeah, so it was pretty simple. We lost a very good baseball game on Monday night. That was high-level stuff. I mean, if you rolled that out at Fenway Park or Yankee Stadium and you put big league uniforms on both teams, you probably wouldn't know the difference. That was a tough loss. And when you're in that 2-0 game or 1-0 game, everybody knows the importance of it, only having to win 1 versus to win 3. That was a heartbreaker. We played good against another good pitcher. Hartle's one of the best pitchers I've seen in a long time. And so I felt like they just needed to be reminded of, we definitely can do this. 2 things. I mean, my team in 2016 did it, and LSU did it in 2017. So we weren't, doing something that was going to be unprecedented. So you start there. And then the pregame speech to Tuesday was a really simple speech on the whiteboard in our meeting room. I just wrote out Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And on Tuesday, I wrote Nate's name down with 8 other pitchers. And then we just drew lines over to Wednesday. It was going to be somebody in that grouping of 9. Thursday, I wrote down Skeens, Hurd. I wrote down Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday, one game, this team to win the national title. I looked at it and goes, anybody got any questions whether we can do this or not? Great, let's get on the bus. And that was basically the announcement that Paul would pitch today.
Okay, over here. Okay.
Clint Yates, ESPN. Getting back to Trey, can you talk a little bit more about his development overall and what it was like for him dealing with the outfield when that injury situation was what it was before he got back?
Yeah, he's a special competitor. I mean, you know, he's meant so much to our team these last couple years. And when it matters the most, that's when you get the best. And we've seen that the whole NCAA tournament, regional, super regional, for sure. And then here in Omaha, the situation is never bigger than his plan. His competitive nature is spectacular. Then you add that with elite hand-eye, bat-to-ball skills, defensive versatility to play first base, athleticism to go to the outfield. You know, there's not many guys that have all that skill set. And there'll be a professional team when this is all said and done that will have a talent that's also a winner that can do pretty much anything.
Okay, next question for Jay. Michael.
Same question I asked the guys about just this being the goal but not done kind of thing. From your mindset now, you've wanted it so bad for these guys, and now they're in the title series.
Yeah, I think I haven't thought a lot about that just yet. You know, we immerse ourselves in the present moment. I mean, going into the NCAA tournament, we talked about this team's had to deal with a lot of this thought of they're perfect because of their talent and their expectations. And, you know, John Wooden used to say, you know, winning is just about playing near your capability all the time. And I think we really settled in. We haven't tried to do too much, and we've really stayed in the moment. I think that was exhibited really well, which is why, you know, Paul pitched the first game of the NCAA tournament. I'd be a hypocrite if I said that, and then you don't lead with your ace against a team that was playing its best baseball. And so that was done for that reason. And so I just think we've been so immersed in that now that this is here, it's not a surprise. And I will tell you, this is the first team that I've ever coached that I believed could win a national championship, hands down. And so in that meeting that Paul was referencing to, what do you want to do? Like literally me asking them, what do you want to accomplish? And it was kind of quiet. And I was like, no, okay, we want a national championship. Came out of Dylan's mouth. Are you sure? And then it's quiet. No, wait a minute. We got to be really sure if this is what we're going to try to go do. And then, so we put it up there, and it's just basically our road to the top. And then it wasn't about doing that. Now it was about how are we going to do it? You know, every step along the way, you know, both within the program and controllable things of, are we going to be selfless? Are we going to have a strong mental game where we can recover from failure, resist the urge to be complacent? And then it's into the baseball stuff, because the game doesn't change of what's required. And then we outline the things from the mound, defensively, offensively, from the bases that we felt like would be required to attain that long-term goal, and laid it all out. And these guys have stuck to it every single day.
Okay, Leah, this will be our last question for this session.
I mean, obviously we had the star-studded matchup with Paul and Rhett Lauder, but what do you have to say about Thatcher and the decision to leave him in the game, you know, when you had a couple of guys warming up in the bullpen in late innings?
Well, we didn't have anybody warming up. We had Gavin playing light toss. You're talking about leaving Thatcher in, I'm guessing? Yeah. That is one of the best college teams I've seen in a long time. I mean, not just this year. They had one of the most remarkable seasons I've ever seen. But that pitching staff, in my opinion, has 7 guys that will pitch in the major leagues someday. 7. I mean, that's a lot. And they're really, really hard to deal with. It was a funnel of pitchers that were going to be available today. And, you know, we wanted to get Paul as long as we could. I'm really proud of him for getting us through 8. I think it took that to win the game, honestly. And then there was only one guy that was going to get the ball after that. And we would have used him to close the game last night if we needed to. I didn't want to do that because I knew he would be needed today, and it gave him an extra day after Monday. And he was spectacular. I think there was one walk, and there was only one 3-ball count the entire time he was on the mound.
Jay, thank you. We'll see you in the morning.
We'll see you in the morning.
Yep. Thanks, buddy.
So your birthday is not exactly the headline here. Like 27.
Yeah. All right about.
Yes, Bill. We remind you that Hammond Communications will post a recording of this press conference at the NCAA Digital Media Hub at ncaa.veritone.com. Transcripts were provided by ASAP and will be posted shortly. That's a happy bunch. Once again, if you're just joining us, please silence your cell phones. We'll start a statement from Coach and then open it up for player comments from the student athletes. Tom?
Thank you. First off, congratulations to LSU and to Florida. Two great baseball teams who are going to play this weekend for a national championship, and they both earned their way there. So kudos to that club. So proud of our guys, not only for the way we battled today, but for really all season, our consistency and our toughness all season. and you heard me say this time and time again this week, but the way these guys love each other, as a coach, I'd rather coach this team and not win the national championship than coach any other team. And I'm just beyond proud of them. And Rhett today, what can you say about Rhett Lauder today? I mean, Paul Skeens was fantastic, and Rhett matched him pitch for pitch. It was one of the best college baseball games I've ever seen. And, Michael Massey and behind him was dominant, and Hurd was too for LSU. So runs were hard to come by, and unfortunately we couldn't find a way to scratch one across there those first 10 or so innings. But, again, proud of this club. Brock Wilken, the season he put together, to be the ACC home run leader for a career in 3 years, and to become the defensive player he's become, and the athlete he's become, but also the teammate he's become. So just proud of these two guys on my left. I can't wait to watch them play, for the next 15 years, on my television. So proud of this team, proud to be a small part of it. Our coaching staff, I want to thank those guys for everything they poured into our season, and honored to be a small part of it.
Okay, we'll open it up for questions for the student athletes. We'll start with the birthday boy, Essex.
Essex there, blogger so dear. This goes for both Brock and Rhett. You guys stayed on the field for a long time, embracing as a team. What were the kind of things that were said during that time, and what did it feel like during that moment?
Brock.
Yeah, it was a tough one there. We kind of just embraced each other and reiterated how much we love one another. And, this is the last time a lot of us will get to put on this jersey. And, I'm glad I got to do it with the two guys to my right and all 30 guys in the dugout. Those are my best friends, and I got to go to war with those guys every single day. And, I'm lucky and proud to say I played for Wake Forest baseball.
Brett?
Yeah, Brock covered a lot of it. Just kind of telling each other how much we love each other, that we've showed it all year, but kind of just expressing it to one another. We've come from so far. A lot of the guys were here a couple of years ago, and we kind of, it's a lot of hard work that went into that. So we were kind of just embracing each other and taking in the moment. So.
Okay, right here. Question.
Connor O'Neill, Deacons Illustrated. What went into you being able to pitch on so short rest and then being able to pitch 88 and as effectively as you did?
I don't really know what went into it. I'm grateful just to be able to put this jersey on. So whatever I can do, whenever I can pitch, I'm going to pitch. And this might be the last time. It's going to be hard for me to take this off tonight, but there's no way I wouldn't pitch in this game.
Aaron?
Aaron Fitt, doing baseball, Rhett, just to almost piggyback on that. There was so much anticipation toward this matchup, you and Skeens, and the two teams that have been number one all year long, and everything else, trip to the finals on the line. To be part of that kind of the historical game, really. When you exited the game, did it kind of hit you, the magnitude of the whole thing, and how do you kind of just describe the experience of this game?
Yeah, this is probably the best game I've ever played in. Wish we could have came out on the other side, but credit to LSU. Like they said, they're a really good team. Paul Skeens is a really good pitcher. He's very impressive to watch. But it hit me a little bit. But every game at this park in front of these fans is it's unreal.
Okay, Mike.
Michael Farrar with Bird Sports Network. Rhett, you made history tonight, breaking the Wake Forest single-season strikeout record. From all the guys who played before you, what's it like to be a part of that historical record?
Yeah, Josh Hartle broke it last time he was out there. I wish he got another chance to pitch and he would have just broke it again. But I'm super proud of him, and it's an honor to be listed with all those guys before me. But I don't know. I'm excited for Josh and what his career is going to look like.
Okay, here in the back.
Danny Wexelman, ESPN. A lot of people seeing you guys on this stage. For everyone who's in here, they watch you all season, but what do you guys hope that people learned about your team and what you guys already know about each other?
I think it goes a lot to say for how much love and care for each other that we have. That goes a lot longer than any talent will ever take anyone. So when people watch us, we're never out of any single game, and how much energy and how much fun that we bring to the table every single day. I hope that I can leave that lasting legacy on other people and my teammates, how much energy and passion and fun that I bring to this game. And, I left it all on the field tonight, and I wouldn't have done it with anyone else.
Right.
Yeah, I think what we did a good job of, and what a lot of people might not know, is just how much fight we actually had. I feel like that people say we play in a small ballpark and just hit home runs all the time, but just finding ways to win is what we've done all year long in close games, and it takes a lot of grit and it takes a lot of fight, and we've done it in numerous different ways, but I think that's just something that we should.
Okay, Matt.
Matt Tallery from World Baseball Network. Rhett, what is it like to have a guy like Bennett Lee behind the dish through all your starting appearances this season?
Bennett Lee's amazing. I mean, just the addition to him to this team, I mean, he controls the pitching staff. He just brings the energy, and then some guy you trust, to talk to in any sort of situation, and then he's going to show up every single day. And big thing for a catcher, he's super level-headed, so he could have a tough day at the dish, and you'd have no idea. You would have no idea if you were pitching to a guy that's over 3. And I think that's one of the biggest things for being a catcher. It's awesome.
Les, this will be our last question for the student athletes.
Les Johns, Demon Deacon Digest. For both you guys, 54 wins. You fall one game short of the College World Series finals. What do you think is the legacy of this team and Team 109?
Rhett, start, please.
Yeah, I think this, just the evolution of Wake Forest baseball to get to where we are now, it's something to be proud of. I'm super grateful, like I said earlier, just to be able to put the jersey on, and then to be a part of what we've built. And this is the standard for Wake Forest baseball now. So I'm just excited to see when they get back.
Brock.
Yeah, as Rhett said, Team 109 blended the future and the past together. This is now the standard, and we exceeded a lot of our expectations and the world's expectations. So to be able to go out there and play every day and leave a lasting legacy that people will always look up to, that means more than any personal accolade will ever mean.
Guys, thank you. Thank you for the year. Thank you for tonight.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, we'll start questions here, and I see Aaron first.
Aaron 51. We've talked so much about Rhett over the years, of course, but this performance today on this stage and his kind of overall legacy, how do you put both of those things into context?
Well, it's impossible. I mean, the guy went 30-5 in his career, and this is the first game we've lost this year that he's pitched in. So obviously wouldn't be here without him, and just a total gamer. I mean, he was just out there competing and battling, matching Paul Skeen's pitch for pitch. So again, and the most amazing thing is he's an even better kid than he is pitcher. He's just the kind of guy that you want to go to war with. And everybody on his team just has so much respect for him and love for him. So, he's the epitome of what you want in a college baseball player.
Okay, Conrad.
Connor O'Neill, Deacons Illustrated. Tom, can you walk me through the decision process to go to Manassi there? And then I think you'd walk Tommy in his previous at-bat or 2 at-bats ago. Was there any thought of that? I know it's harsh to second-guess it now, but your thought process.
Yeah, again, we were in between on whether to start Manassi in that inning, truthfully. And, I always hate to be that guy that, if you're going to go to somebody after one base or after the first guy gets on, it's like, why didn't you just start the other guy? And I'm always in between on that. But, again, if we were going to lose this game, I wanted Cam on the mound. He's our guy, and he's made pitches. And, obviously I'd like to have that one back. But, if you're going to lose a ball game, I want him to be the guy on the mound and give credit to Tommy White and put a good swing on the ball.
Okay, Matt.
Matty Ramirez, White and Blue Review. I'm sorry that you're on the sour end of this, but I'm wondering, it didn't feel like there were many mistakes by either team tonight. It just felt like someone took the moment and won it. What was it like to be a part of a game of that magnitude on this stage with so much at stake where the players played to the level?
Yeah, I mean, the expectations coming into this game with that matchup were off the charts, and both teams delivered on that, and that's near impossible to do. I mean, I mean, we were like through 7 innings, and Paul Skeens hadn't walked anybody yet, and I was just like blown away by. Again, obviously it's got great stuff, but I was just so impressed with his ability to make pitches, and they weren't even really that many 3-ball counts, and our game plan coming into it was to drive his pitch count up, and we just weren't able to do that because he just threw so many strikes. But and again, we delivered on the other side of that. You're right, there weren't any mistakes. I mean, again, we made one bad pitch, and Tommy White didn't miss it. We had some hard balls, off of Hurd. I mean, we barreled up probably 6 balls off Hurd that kind of right at people, and we didn't get the big hit. They did.
Okay, Les.
Coach, how deflating was it for the team initially to see Nick Kurtz pulled from the lineup, and then how happy were you with what Jack did out there tonight?
Yeah, really impressed with Jack. We put him in the lineup at Louisville, and I was proud of him then too because he just looked like he belonged. He didn't miss a beat, and he went in there today, got our first hit, obviously, and had some other good at bats, took some good swings, played well defensively. So we were trying to find a situation to get Kurtzy in there. We just Kurtzy said he had 1 at bat in him, and we were just trying to get a guy in scoring position for him, and. The only really time we got a guy in scoring position, it was Lucas Costello and Brock Wilken up. So obviously we weren't going to hit for those guys. But again, I have to think if we had a healthy Nick Kurtz this week, I mean, the stuff that happened today was kind of just a holdover from the Alabama, super truthfully, and he's been battling all week. If we have a healthy Nick Kurtz, then who knows? Maybe yesterday's different too.
Essex.
Coach, in the huddle on the field, what was your message to the team, but also personally, what were the emotions going through your mind?
Post game? Yeah, I mean, I just told those guys I was proud of them and I loved them and wouldn't want to be here with any other group of guys and hold their heads high, enjoy the moment, soak it in, and just be present in the moment, take it all in. Wake Forest will be back in this game again. And I know it won't be with all these guys on this team because we've got several guys that are going to be high draft picks, but we've got a couple seniors too. So I'm sorry they won't be back in this game, but I know Wake Forest will be.
Okay, back here in the middle.
Zach Ewing from The Advocate. Tom, probably the key moment of the first 10 innings, the squeeze play. Walk us through that decision and then what you saw on it. Kind of like he said, it didn't seem like anyone did anything wrong. They just made a play on you.
Yeah, I was bunted maybe just a little too hard, but I thought it was a pretty good bunt. And give credit to Trey Morgan, he was kind of straight vacating on that ball. And the reality of the situation is you could maybe hold the runner there because I don't think they'd have been able to get an out on the backside of that because of the way he crashed, and I don't know that they had anybody covering first base. So I think if we make a little better slide there, we're probably safe. I think we just got a little too high with the slide, but again, it was a great defensive play by a great defensive first baseman, and I think both teams did everything right.
Okay, this will be our last question for Tom.
Yeah, Aaron Fitt again, Coach. Kind of the other part of that inning, the 8th. I mean, there's kind of the peak of that game in a lot of ways was the top and then the bottom of that inning. But you got a guy at second base, Cruz, coming up. You decided to pitch to him with Massey, and then you walk White, and you pitched to Morgan. And the way that all worked out for you was really good. But I'm just really curious if you could explain kind of the strategy there, because I thought that was compelling.
Yeah, anytime you consider walking somebody, you're looking at it and saying, okay, we got to pitch to 2 out of the 3 guys, and which had to pitch to 2 of them. You couldn't pitch to 1 of them. So, we just chose Cruz and Morgan in that situation. We felt like Massey, with his ride on his fastball, was a good matchup for Cruz, and Tommy White. The key to getting him out is to be out of the zone, and that's what the plan was there in the last inning, and we just missed center cut, and when you miss center cut on Tommy White, he's going to punish it.
Tom, thank you. Congratulations on the year.
Thank you. Appreciate your hospitality.